My name is Victor Schwartz, and I'm one of the co-founders of Digit. We develop pre-diagnostic software for orthopedic clinics, making the process of receiving treatment faster and easier. Getting injured sucks. Not only are you in a lot of pain, but suddenly you have to go through the process of receiving treatment, which is a nightmare. When all you can think about is how quickly can I go back to doing what makes you, you. For me, that's playing soccer. I've been playing since I was a kid, and I absolutely love doing so. So you can imagine my disappointment a few years ago when I went up for a header in a soccer match and ended up severely injuring my spine. All I could think about was, how quickly can I get back on the field? I was shocked that it took me almost 4 months to receive treatment for my condition. And this wasn't because of my injury at all. It was because the process of receiving treatment within orthopedics is so bad and so inefficient. I had to go into my surgeon multiple times before I was able to receive treatment. And the worst part was many times I felt that the visits weren't necessary and that they could have been consolidated, which would have been a much more efficient use of my time and the surgeon's. This process doesn't need to be so long and inefficient. It could be expedited severely if there was the right technology in place. We spent a lot of time trying to understand the ins and outs of the orthopedic treatment process. And we spent a lot of time trying to understand the pain points that lead to these greater inefficiencies. One of the things we've noticed in talking to dozens of orthopedic surgeons is that many of them feel that if they were able to collect more specific information about a patient's condition before the actual appointment, they would be able to spend their time in the appointment in a much more meaningful and efficient manner. The problem with this is the way that this kind of information is collected now is just in a few blanket questions at the end of a long, complicated patient intake form. We've all gone through these forms, and we all know that even though they take a long time, and it seems like it's collecting a lot of things, they actually don't do a very good job of collecting specific information about your actual symptoms and preferences as a patient. So what we're doing instead is we've been working with a team of leading orthopedic surgeons to develop question algorithms that allow us to collect a lot of information about a patient's condition and treatment preferences in a quick and efficient manner. Our software utilizes a dynamic question engine that begins by asking a patient about their chief complaint and then generates automatically the following questions based on the previous answers given by the patient. This allows us to tailor the questions and collect a lot more vital information in a much shorter and much more methodical way. This information is then sent directly to the surgeon via our web application so that they can review the patient's information before the actual appointment. This leads to streamlining the entire process. We plan on selling directly to orthopedic clinics. We'll charge them using a monthly subscription model based on the number of surgeons using our actual software. We've chosen to go with this model because of the way we fit into the clinical workflow and because of the value we provide on a recurring basis in the patient treatment process. We will begin by targeting hand orthopedic outpatient centers as our beachhead market. We've chosen to continue with this subspecialty as our beachhead because the treatment processes and the conditions are especially conducive to our software. We have just begun beta testing our software in a hand clinic in Ohio, and we'll continue to do so while we refine our question algorithms and continue to prove a tangible return on investment in our software. Next, we'll expand our beta testing to 5 clinics so that we can understand what protocols and personnel are necessary for us to be able to offer our software in a variety of different clinical settings. Once we graduate from our beta testing phase, we'll move on to launch fully and be available nationwide. During this time, we'll also expand our software to include content across all different orthopedic subspecialties. In this phase, we'll begin to pursue institutional funding so that we can recruit the personnel required for product development, customer support, and sales. In addition, our preliminary market analysis has indicated that our software and this problem exist in a variety of other medical specialties outside of orthopedics. So we're going to continue to explore these as viable market expansion models for us to address this problem in other markets such as dermatology or physical therapy. Our team is composed of 4 Duke computer science students, 2 orthopedic surgeons, and 1 orthopedic advisor. Our team strikes the perfect balance between 49 years of combined medical experience with a youthful hunger for technological innovation. At the beginning of the summer, all we had was an idea of a problem that we knew a few orthopedic surgeons were facing. What we were trying to do is figure out whether or not this was a viable market solution across in a broader sense across orthopedics. Once we were able to validate that, we focused our efforts on turning our idea into an actual full-fledged business. The ATI SEAL program has been fundamental throughout this entire process with the use of incredible mentors and awesome resources throughout the entire summer. Back in June, we were told that in August we'd have to decide, are we going to continue with this or not? Does this make sense? Well, I'm here to say that absolutely we will continue working on Digit, and we hope to have great success in the future. We'd love to talk to anyone in the audience interested in what we're working on, and thank you so much for your time.